नमः पार्वती पतये हर 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 महादेव। नमो स्वनन्ताय सहस्रमूर्तये सहस्रपादा शिशिरोरुबाहवे सहस्रनाम्ने पुरुषाय शाश्वते सहस्रकोटि युगधारिणे नमः। ॐ नमः शिवाय गुरवे सच्चिदानन्दमूर्तये निष्प्रपञ्चाय शान्ताय निरालम्बाय तेजसे नित्यानन्दाय गुरवे शिष्यसंसारहारिणे भक्तकार्येकदेहाय नमस्ते चित्सदात्मने। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। ॐ नमो गुरुभ्यो गुरुपादुकाभ्यो नमः परेभ्यः परपादुकाभ्यः आचार्यसिद्धे स्वरपादुकाभ्यो नमो नमः श्री गुरुपादुकाभ्यः। अहंकार रहस्ययोक्ता श्रींकारगूढा तमः विभूत्या ओंकारमर्म प्रतिपादिनीभ्यां नमो नमः श्री गुरुपादुकाभ्यां। होत्राग्निहोत्राग्निहवेश्यहोत्रे होमादिसर्वा कृतिभासमानं यद्ब्रह्म तद्बोधवितारिणीभ्यां नमो नमः श्री गुरुपादुकाभ्यां। कामादिसर्पा व्रजगारुणाभ्यां विवेकवैराग्यनिधिप्रदाभ्यां मोदाप्रदाभ्यां द्रुतमोक्षदाभ्यां नमो नमः श्री गुरुपादुकाभ्याम्। अनन्तसंसारसमुद्रतारा नौकायिताभ्यां स्थिरभक्तिदाभ्यां जाड्याब्धिसंशोषणवडवाभ्यां नमो नमः श्री गुरुपादुकाभ्याम्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। ॐ अस्य श्री गुरुगीतास्तोत्रमन्त्रस्य भगवान् सदाशिवऋषि नानाविधानि छन्दांसि श्री गुरु परमात्मा देवता। हम बीजं सशक्ति क्रों कीलकं श्री गुरु प्रसाद सिद्ध्यर्थे जपे विनियोगः अथ ध्यानं हंसाभ्यां परिवृत्तपत्रकमलैर्दिव्ये जगत्कारणे विश्वोत्कीर्णमनेकदेहनिलये स्वच्छन्दमात्मेच्छया तद्योदाम्बदशाम्भवं तु चरणं दीपाङ्कुरग्राहिणं प्रत्यक्षाक्षरविग्रहं गुरुपदं ध्यायेद्विभुं शाश्वतम्। सूत उवाच कैलासशिखरे रम्ये भक्तिसन्धाननायकं प्रणम्य पार्वती भक्त्या शङ्करं परिपृच्छति। श्रीदेव्युवाच ॐ नमो देवदेवेश परात्परा जगद्गुरो सदाशिव महादेव गुरो दीक्षां प्रदेहि मे। केन मार्गेण भो स्वामिन् देहि ब्रह्ममयो भवे त्वं कृपां कुरु मे स्वामिन् नमामि चरणौ तव। ईश्वर उवाच मम रूपासि देवे त्वं त्वत्प्रीत्यर्थं वदाम्यहं लोकोपकारका प्रश्नो न केनापि कृता पुरा दुर्लभं दृषु लोकेषु तच्छृणुष्व वदाम्यहं गुरुं विना ब्रह्म नान्यत् सत्यं सत्यं वरानने। वेदशास्त्रपुराणानि इतिहासादिकानि च मन्त्रयन्त्रादिविद्याश्च स्मृतिरुच्चाटनादिकं शैवशाक्तगमादीनि अन्यानि विविधानि च अपभ्रंशकराणिह जीवानां भ्रान्तचेतसाम् यज्ञं व्रतं तपोदानं जपं तीर्थं तथैव च तत्त्वमविज्ञाय रते जना गुरुर्यात्मनो नान्यत् सत्यं सत्यं न संशयः तल्लाभार्थं प्रयत्नस्तु कर्तव्यो हि मनीषिभिः। गूढविद्या जगन्माया देहे चाज्ञानसम्भवा उदयो यत्प्रकाशेन गुरुशब्देन कथ्यते। सर्वपापविशुद्धात्मा श्रीगुरोपादसेवनात् देहि ब्रह्म भवेद्यस्मात् त्वत्कृपार्थं वदामि ते। गुरुपादाम्बुजं श्रित्वा जलं शिरसि धारयेत् सर्वतीर्थावगाहस्य सम्प्राप्नोति फलं नरः। शोषणं पापपङ्कस्य ईपनं ज्ञानतेजसा गुरुपादोदकं सम्यक् संसारार्णवतारकम्। अज्ञानमूलहरणं जन्मकर्मनिवारणं ज्ञानवैराग्यसिद्ध्यर्थं गुरुपादोदकं पिबेत्। गुरुपादोदकं पीत्वा गुरोरुच्चिष्टभोजनं गुरुमूर्ते सदा ध्यानं गुरुमन्त्रं सदा जपेत्। काशीक्षेत्रं तन्निवासो जाह्नवीचरणोदकं गुरुर्विश्वेश्वर साक्षात् तारकं ब्रह्म निश्चितं। गुरुमुदोदकं यत्तु गया सौसोक्षयो वटः तीर्थराज प्रयागश गुरुमूर्त्यै नमो नमः। गुरुमूर्तिं स्मरे नित्यं गुरुनाम सदा जपेत्। गुरोराज्ञां प्रकुर्वीत गुरोरन्यन्यभावयेत्। गुरुभक्त्रस्थितं ब्रह्म प्राप्यते तत्प्रसादतः। गुरुर्ध्यानं सदा कुर्यात् कुलस्त्रीस्वपतिर्यथा। स्वाश्रमं च स्वजातिं च स्वकीर्तिपुष्टिवर्धनम् एतत् सर्वं परित्यज्य गुरोरन्यन्यभावयेत्। अनन्याश्चिन्तयन्तो मां सुलभं परमं पदं तस्मात् सर्वप्रयत्नेन गुरोराराधनं कुरु। त्रैलोक्ये स्फुटभक्तारो देवाद्यसुरपन्नगा गुरुभक्त्रस्थिता विद्या गुरुभक्त्या दुर्लभ्यते। गोकारस्त्वन्धकारश्च ऋकारस्तेज उच्यते। ग्रासकं ब्रह्म गुरुरेव न संशय। गुकारः प्रथमो वर्णो मायादिगुणभासकः। ऋकारो द्वितीयो ब्रह्म मायाभ्रान्तिविनाशनम्। एवं गुरुपदं श्रेष्ठं देवानामपि दुर्लभं। हा हा हू हू गणश्चैव गन्धर्वैश्च प्रपूज्यते। ध्रुवं देशां च सर्वेषां नास्ति तत्त्वं गुरोः परम्। आसनं शयनं वस्त्रं भूषणं वाहनादिकम् साधकेन प्रदातव्यं गुरुसन्तोषकारकं। गुरोराराधनं कार्यं स्वजीवित्वं निवेदयेत्। कर्मणा मनसा वाचा नित्यमाराधयेत् गुरुं। दीर्घदण्डं नमस्कृत्य निर्लज्जो गुरुसन्। शरीरम् इन्द्रियं प्राणान् सद्गुरुभ्यो निवेदयेत्। आत्मदारादिकं सर्वं सद्गुरुभ्यो निवेदयेत्। कृमिकीटभस्मविष्टा दुर्गन्धिमलमूत्रकं श्लेष्मरक्तं त्वचं मांसं वञ्चयेन्नावरानने। पतन्तो नरकार्णवे येन चैवोद्धृता सर्वे तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुर्गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः। गुरुरेव परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। हेतवे जगतामेव संसारार्णवसेतवे प्रभवे सर्वविद्यानां शम्भवे गुरवे नमः। ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। त्वं पिता त्वं च मे माता त्वं बन्धुस्त्वं च देवता। संसारप्रतिबोधार्थं तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। यत्सत्येन जगत्सत्यं यत्प्रकाशेन भाति तत् यदानन्देन नन्दन्ति तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। यस्य स्थित्यात् सत्यमिदं यद्भाति भानुरूपतः प्रियं पुत्रादि यत्प्रीत्या तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। येन चेतायते हेदं चित्तं चेतयते नयं जाग्रत् स्वप्न सुषुप्त्यादि तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। यच्च ज्ञानादिदं विश्वं न दृश्यं भिन्न भेदता सदेकरूपरूपाय तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। यस्य मतं यस्य न वेदसः अनन्यभावभावाय तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। यस्य कारणरूपस्य कार्यरूपेण भाति कार्यकारण तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। नानारूपमिदं सर्वं न केनाप्यस्ति भिन्नता कार्यकारणता चैव तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। यदग्निकमलद्वन्द्वं द्वन्द्वतापनिवारकं ज्ञातुकं सर्वदा पद्य श्रीगुरुकर्म्यहम्। शिवे क्रुद्धे गुरुस्त्राता गुरो क्रुद्धे शिवो नहि तस्मात् सर्वप्रयत्नेन श्रीगुरुं शरणं व्रज। वन्दे गुरुपदद्वन्द्वं वाङ्मनश्चित्तगोचरं हृतरक्तप्रभाभिन्नं शिवशक्त्यात्मकं परं गोकारं च गुणातीतं ऋकारं रूपवर्जितं गुणातीतस्वरूपं च यो दद्यात् स गुरुस्मृता। आत्रिनेत्र सर्वसाक्षी आचतुर्बाहुरच्युत प्रिये अयं मयाञ्जलिर्बद्धो दयासागरवृद्धये यदानुग्रहतो जन्तुर्चित्रसंसारमुक्तिभा। श्रीगुरो परमं रूपं विवेकचक्षुषोमृतं मन्दवाग्यान पश्यन्ति अन्धा सूर्योदयं यथा। श्रीनाथचरणद्वन्द्वं यस्यां दिशि विराजते तस्यै दिशे नमस्कुर्यात् भक्त्या प्रतिदिनं प्रिये। तस्यै दिशे सततमञ्जलिरेष आर्ये प्रक्षेप्यते मुखरितो मधुपैर्बुधैश्च जागर्ति यत्र भगवान् गुरुचक्रवर्ती विश्वोदयप्रलम्ब। श्रीनाथादिगुरुत्रयं गणपतिं पीठात्रयं भैरवं सिद्धौघं बटुकत्रयं पदयुगं दूतीक्रमं मण्डलम् ईरान्द्वष्टचतुष्षष्टिनवकं वीरावली पञ्चकं श्रीमन्मालिनी मन्त्रराजसहितं वन्दे गुरु। अभ्यस्ते सकले सुदीर्घमनिलयैर्व्याधिप्रदैर्दुष्करे प्राणायामशतैरनेककर् दुःखात्मकैर्दुर्जय यस्मिन्नाभ्युदिते विनश्यति बले वायु स्वयं तत्क्षणात् प्राप्तुं दशजं स्वभावमनिशम् एव त्वमेकं गुरुम्। स्वदेशिकस्यैव शरीरचिन्तनं भवेदनन्तस्य जीवस्य चिन्तनं स्वदेशिकस्यैव जन्मकीर्तनं भवेदनन्तस्य जीवस्य कीर्तनं यत्पादरेणुकणिका कापि संसारवारिधे सेतुवन्दायते नाथं देशिकान्तमुपास्महे अस्मादनुग्रहं लब्ध्वा महदज्ञानमुत्सृजे तस्मै श्रीदेशिकेन्द्राय नमश्चाभीष्टसिद्धये पादाब्जं सर्वसंसार दावानलविनाशकं ब्रह्मरन्ध्रेषिताम्बोज मध्यस्थं चन्द्रमण्डले अकथादित्रिरेखाब्जे सहस्रदलमण्डले हंसपार्श्वत्रिकोणे च स्मरे तन्मध्यगं गुरुं सकलभुवनसृष्टिः कल्पिता शेषपुष्टि निखिलनिगमदृष्टि सम्पदां व्यर्थदृष्टि अवगुणपरिमाष्टि तत्पदार्थैकदृष्टि भवगुणपरमेष्टि मोक्षमार्गैकदृष्टि सकलभुवनरङ्गा स्थापनस्तम्भयष्टि सकरुणरसवृष्टि तत्त्वमाला समष्टि सकलसमयसृष्टि सच्चिदानन्ददृष्टि निवसतु मयि नित्यं श्रीगुरुर्दिव्यदृष्टि अग्निशुद्धं समन्तातु ज्वालापरिचकादिया मन्त्रराजमिमं मन्ये हर्निशं पातु मृत्युता तदेजति तन्नैजति तद्दूरे तत्समीपगे तदन्तरस्य सर्वस्य तदु सर्वस्य वाह्यतः अजोऽहमजरोऽहं च अनादिनिधनः स्वयम् अविकारश्चिदानन्द अणिमहतो अपूर्वाणां परं नित्यं स्वयं ब्रह्मान् रामय विराजं परमाकाशं भगवानन्दमव्ययम् श्रुते प्रत्यक्षमैतेयम् अनुमानश्चतुष्टयम् यस्य चात्मतपो वेद देशिकं च सदा स्मरेत् मननं यद्भवं कार्यं तद्वदामि महामते साधुत्वं च मया दृष्टं त्वयि तिष्ठति साम्प्रतम् अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरम् आत्मनं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः सर्वश्रुते शिरोरत्ना विराजिता पदाम्बुजा वेदान्ताम्बुजसूर्यो तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः यस्य स्मरणमात्रेण ज्ञानमुत्पद्यते स्वयं य एव सर्वसम्प्राप्तिस् तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः स्वतं शान्तं व्योमातीतं निरञ्जनं नादबिन्दुकलातीतं तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः स्थावरं जङ्गमं तथा चैव चराचरं व्याप्तं येन जगत्सर्वं तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः ज्ञानशक्तिसमारूढा तत्त्वमालाभिभूषिता भुक्तिमुक्तिप्रदाताय तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। अनेका जन्म सम्प्राप्त सर्वकर्मविदाहिने स्वात्मज्ञानप्रभावेन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। न गुरोरधिकं तत्त्वं न गुरोरधिकं तपः तत्त्वं ज्ञानात् परं नास्ति तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। मन्नाथ श्रीजगन्नाथो मद्गुरु श्रीजगद्गुरु ममात्मा सर्वभूतात्मा तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। ज्ञानमूलं गुरुमूर्ति पूजामूलं गुरुपदं मन्त्रमूलं गुरुर्वाक्यं मोक्षमूलं गुरुकृपा। गुरुरादिरनादिश्च गुरुपरमदैवतं गुरुपरतरं नास्ति तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। सप्तसागर्यपर्यन्तं तीर्थस्नानादिकं फलं गुरोरङ्घ्रिपयो बिन्दु सहस्रांशेन दुर्लभम्। हरौरुष्टे गुरुस्त्राता गुरुरुष्टेन कश्चन तस्मात् सर्वा प्रयत्नेन श्रीगुरुशरणं व्रजेत्। गुरुरेव जगत्सर्वं ब्रह्म विष्णु शिवात्मकं गुरुपरतरं नास्ति तस्मात् सम्पूजयेत् गुरुम्। ज्ञानं विज्ञानसहितं लभ्यते गुरुभक्तितः गुरुपरतरं नास्ति ध्येयोऽसौ गुरुमार्गिभिः। यस्मात् परतरं नास्ति नेति नेतीति वैश्रुति मनसापि नित्यमाराधयेत् गुरुम्। गुरुकृपाप्रसादेन ब्रह्म विष्णु सदाशिव समर्था प्रभवाद बलं गुरुसेवया। देवगिन्नरगन्धर्व पितरो यक्षचारणा मुनयोऽपि न जानन्ति गुरुशणे विधिम्। महाहंकारगर्वेण तपो विद्याबलान्विता संसारकुहरावर्ते घटयन्त्रे यथा घटा। अमुक्ता देवगः ध्यानं शृणु महादेवी सर्वानन्दप्रदायकं सर्वसौख्यकरं नित्यं भुक्तिमुक्तिविदायकं। परब्रह्मगुरुं स्मरामि श्रीमत्परब्रह्मगुरुं वदामि श्रीमत्परब्रह्मगुरुं नमामि श्रीमत्परब्रह्मगुरुं भजामि। ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम्। एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि। नित्यं शुद्धं निराभासं निराकारं निरञ्जनं नित्यबोधं चिदानन्दं गुरुं ब्रह्म नमाम्यहम्। हृदम्बुजे कर्णिकमध्य संस्थे सिंहासने संस्थितदेव्यमूर्तिं ध्याये गुरुं चन्द्रकलाप्रकाशं चित्पुस्तकाविशवरं ददानं पीताम्बरं श्वेतविलेपपुष्पं मुक्ताविभूषं मुदितं द्विनेत्रं वामाङ्गपीठस्थितदेव्यशक्ति मन्दस्थितं सान्द्रकृपानिधानम् आनन्दमानन्दकरं प्रसन्नं ज्ञानस्वरूपं निजबोधयुक्तं योगीन्द्रमेड्यं भवरोगवैद्यं श्रीमद्गुरुं नित्यमहं नमामि। यस्मिन् सृष्टे स्थिते ध्वंस निग्रहानुग्रहात्मकं कृत्यं पञ्चविधं शाश्वत भासते तं नमाम्यहम्। पार्थशिरासि शुक्लाब्जे द्विनेत्रं द्विभुजं गुरुं वराभयायुतं शान्तं वरेत्तं नापूर्वकम् न गुरोरधिकं न गुरोरधिकं न गुरोरधिकं शिवशासनत शिवशासनत इदमेव शिवं द्विदमेव शिवं त्वेदमेव शिवं त्वेदमेव शिवं मम शासनतो मम शासनतो मम शासनत एवं विधं गुरुं ध्यात्वा ज्ञानमुत्पद्यते स्वयं तत्सद्गुरुप्रसादेन मनः भावये गुरुदर्शितं मार्गेण मनःशुद्धिं तु कारयेत् अनित्यं खण्डयेत् सर्वं यत्किञ्चिदात्मगोचरं ज्ञेयं सर्वस्वरूपं च ज्ञानं च मन उच्यते ज्ञानं ज्ञेयं समं कुर्यात् नान्यपन्था इति। एवं श्रुत्वा महादेवी गुरुनिन्दां करोति स याति नरकं घोरं यावच्चन्द्रदिवाकरो यावत्कल्पान्तको देहः तावदेव गुरुं स्मरेत् गुरुलोपो न कर्तव्यः स्वच्छन्दो यदि वा भवेत् ओङ्कारेण वक्तव्यं प्राज्ञै सृष्टे कथञ्चन गुरोरग्रेण वक्तव्यम् असत्यं च कदाचन गुरुं त्वङ्कृत्य हुङ्कृत्य गुरुनिर्जित्य बाधतः अरण्ये निर्जले देशे स भवेत् ब्रह्मराक्षसः मुनिविपन्नगैर्वापि सुरैर्वा शापितो यदि अयं गुरुरक्षति पार्वती अशक्ता हि सुराद्यश्च अशक्ता मुनयस्तथा गुरुशापेन ते शीघ्रं यान्ति न संशयः मन्त्रराजामिदं देवी गुरुरित्यक्षरद्वयं स्मृतिवेदार्थवाक्येन गुरो साक्षात् परं पदम् ते वै सन्न्यासिना प्रोक्ता इतरे वेषधारिणा नित्यं ब्रह्म निराकारं निर्गुणं बोधयेत् गुरुः सर्वब्रह्म निराभासं दीपो दीपान्तरं यथा गुरुकृपाप्रसादेन आत्मारामं निरीक्षयेत् अनेन गुरुमार्गेण स्वात्मज्ञानः प्रवर्तते आब्रह्मस्तम्भपर्यन्तं परमात्मा स्वरूपकं स्थावरं जङ्गमं चैव प्रणमामि जगन्मयं वन्दे चिदानन्दं भेदातीतं सदा गुरुं नित्यं पूर्णनिराकारं निर्गुणं स्वात्मसंस्थितं परात् परतरं देयं नित्यमानन्दकारकम् आकाशमध्यस्थं शुद्धस्फटिकसन्निभं स्फटिकाप्रतिमारूपं दृश्यते दर्पणे यथा तदात्मनि चिदाकारम् आनन्दं सोऽहमित्युत अङ्गुष्ठमात्रपुरुषं ध्यायतश्चिन्मयं हृदि तत्र स्फुरति भावोऽयम् अगोचरं तथा गम्यं कामरूपाविवर्जितं निःशब्दं तद्विजानीयात् स्वभावं ब्रह्म पार्वती यदा स्वभावेन कर्पूरकुसुमादिषु च शाश्वतं स्वयं तदा वेदो भूत्वा दातव्यं यत्र कुत्रचित् कीटाभ्रमरवत् तवति तादृशं गुरुध्यानं तथा कृत्वा स्वयं ब्रह्ममयो भवेत् पण्डे मुक्तौ सौ नात्र संशया श्रीपार्वती उवाच पिण्डं किं नो महादेव पदं हंसमुदाहृतं रूपातीतं च रूपं किम् एतदाख्यायि शङ्करम् श्रीमहादेव उवाच पिण्डं कुण्डलिनी शक्ति पदं हंसमुदाहृतं रूपं बिन्दुरिते गेयं रूपातीतं निरञ्जने पिण्डे मुक्ता पदे मुक्ता रूपे मुक्ता वरानने रूपातीते तु ये मुक्ता ते मुक्ता नात्र संशया मयो भूत्वा परं तत्त्वं विलोकयेत् परात् परतरं नान्यत् सर्वनित्यं तस्यावलोकनं प्राप्य सर्वसङ्गविवर्जितम् एकाकी निःस्पृहा शान्तः तिष्ठासे तत्प्रसादतः लब्धं वाथ न लब्धं वा स्वल्पं वा बहुलं तथा निष्कामेनैव भोक्तव्यं सदा सन्तुष्टचेतसा सर्वज्ञपदमित्याह देहि सर्वमयो बुधा सदानन्दः सदा शान्तो रमते यत्र कुत्रचित् यत्रैव तिष्ठते सोऽपि सदेश पुण्यभाजनं लक्षणं देवी तवाग्रे कथितं मया उपदेशस्तथा देवी गुरुमार्गेण मुक्तिदा अनेन यद्भवेत् कार्यं तद्वदामि महामते लोकोपकारकं देवी लौकिकं तु न भावये लौकिकात् कर्मणो यान्ति आदहीनाववर्णवम् ज्ञानी तु भावयेत् सर्वं कर्म निष्कर्म यत्कृतम् इदं त्वक्तिभावेन पठते शृणुते यदि लिखित्वा तत्प्रदातव्यं तत्सर्वं सफलं भवेत् गुरुगीतात्मकं ते शुद्धतत्त्वं मयोदितं भवभयविनाशार्थं स्वयमेव जपेत् सदा गुरुगीताक्षरैकं तु तन्त्रराजामिमं जपे अन्ये च विविधा मन्त्रा फलं नारन्ति षोडशे अनन्तफलमाप्नोति गुरुगीता जपेन तु सर्वपापप्रशमनं सर्वसंसारनाशनं यक्ष महाव्याधिहरं सर्वं विभूतिसिद्धिदं भवेत् अथवा मोहनं वश्य स्वयमेव जपेत् सदा वस्त्रासने च दारिद्र्यं पाषाणे रोगसम्भवा मेदिन्यां दुःखमाप्नोति काष्ठे भवति निष्फलम् कृष्णाजिने ज्ञान सिद्धि मोक्ष श्री व्याघ्र चर्मणि कुशासने ज्ञान सिद्धि सर्वसिद्धिस्तु कम्बले कुशैर्वा दुर्भया देवी आसने शुभ्रकम्बले उपविश्य ततो देवी जपेदेकाग्रमानसा ध्येयं शुक्लं च शान्त्यर्थं वश्ये रक्तासनं प्रिये अविचारे कृष्णवर्णं पीतवर्णं धनाङ्गम् मैत्रेयी शान्तिकामस्तु वश्ये पूर्वमुखो जपे दक्षिणे मारणं प्रोक्तं पश्चिमे च धनागमा मोहनं सर्वभूतानां वन्दमोक्षकरं भवेत् देवराज्यप्रियकरं सर्वलोकवशं भवेत् सर्वेषां संकरं गुणानां च विवर्धनं दुष्कर्मनाशनं चैव सुकर्मसिद्धिदं भवेत् आद्यं साधयेत् कार्यं नवग्रह भयापहं दुःस्वप्ननाशनं चैव सुस्वप्नफलदायकम् सर्वशान्तिकरं नित्यं तथा वन्द्यासुपुत्रदा अवैधव्यकरं स्त्रीणां सौभाग्यदायकं सदा आयुरारोग्यमैश्वर्यं पुत्रपौत्रप्रवर्धनम् अकामता स्त्रीविधवा जपान्मोक्षमवाप्नुयात् अन्वितव्यं सकामात् लभते चान्यजन्मनि सर्वदुःखभयं विघ्नं नाशयेच्चापारकम् सर्वबाधाप्रशमनं धर्मार्थकाममोक्षदम् यं यं चिन्तयते कामं तं तं प्राप्नोति निश्चितम् कामितस्य कामधेनु कल्पना कल्पपादप चिन्तामणिश्चिन्तितस्य सर्वमङ्गलकारकम् मोक्षहेतुर्जपे नित्यं मोक्षश्रियमवाप्नुयात् मोक्षकामो जपेद्यो तस्य कामफलप्रदः यपीक्षातस्य सौरस्य गणपत्यस्य वैष्णव सैवस्य सिद्धिदं देवी सत्यं सत्यं न संशयः काम्या जपे स्थानं कथयामि वरानने सागरे वा सरितीरे तवा हरिहरालये भक्तिदेवालये गोष्ठे शक्तिदेवालये शुभे भट्टे च धातृमूले मठे वृन्दावने तथा पवित्रे निर्मले स्थाने नित्यानुष्ठानतोऽपि वा निर्वेदनेन मौनेन जपमेतं समाचरे श्मशाने भयभूमौ तु वटमूलान्तिके तथा सिद्ध्यन्ति दातरे मूले च्यूतवृक्षस्य सन्निधौ गुरुपुत्रो वरं मूर्खस्तस्य सिद्ध्यन्ति नान्यथा शुभकर्माणि सर्वाणि दीक्षाव्रततपांसि च संसारमलनाशार्थं गुरुगीताम्बसिस्नानं तत्त्वज्ञा कुरुते सदा वाचा गुरु साक्षात् सदा सद्ब्रह्मवित्तमा न च स्थानानि सर्वाणि पवित्राणि न संशय सर्वत्रौसौ स्वभावाद्यत्र तिष्ठति तत्र देवागणा सर्वे पित्रे पीठे वसन्ति पातलस्थशयालो वा गच्छन् वदन्नपि अश्वारूढो गजारूढ सुप्तो वा जागृतोऽपि वा शुचे स्माश सदा ज्ञानी गुरुगीता जपेन तु तस्य दर्शनमात्रेण पुनर्जन्म न विद्यते समुद्रे च यथा तोयं धीरे क्षीरं भिन्ने कुम्भे यथा काशस्तथात्मा परमात्मनि तथैव ज्ञानी जीवात्मा परमात्मानि लीयते ऐक्येन रमते ज्ञानी यत्र तत्र दिवानिशम् सर्वदा वर्तते बुधः तस्य सर्वप्रयत्नेन भावभक्तिं करोति यः सर्वसन्देहरहितो मुक्तो भवति पार्वती भुक्तिमुक्ति स्वयं तस्य युवाग्रे च सरस्वती अनेन प्राणिना सर्वे सर्वसिद्धिं प्राप्नुवन्ति भुक्तिमुक्तिं न संशयः सर्वसत्यं सत्यं धर्म्यं सांख्यं मयोदितं पूर्णगीता समं नास्ति सत्यं सत्यं एको देव एकधर्म एकनिष्ठा परं तपः माता धन्या पिता धन्यो धन्यो वंशाकुलं तथा गुरुभक्ति सुदुर्लभा शरीरम् इन्द्रियं प्राण अर्थस्वजन बान्धवा माता पिता कुलं देवी गुरुरेवा न संशयः जप व्रत तपः क्रिया तत्सर्वं सफलं देवी गुरु सन्तोषमात्रतः विद्या तपोबलेनैव मन्दभाग्याशये नरा अन्येऽपि मुनयो जना गुरुभाव परं तीर्थम् अन्यतीर्थं निरर्थकं सर्वतीर्थाश्रयो देवी पादाङ्गुष्ठंश वर्तते जपेन जयमाप्नोति चानन्तफलमाप्नुयात् हीनकर्म त्यजन् सर्वं सन्तानि च धमानि च जपं हीनासनं कुर्वन् हीनकर्मफलप्रदं गुरुगीता प्रयाणे सङ्ग्रामे रिपुसङ्कटे जपं जयमवाप्नोति मरणे मुक्तिदायकं सर्वकर्म च सर्वस्य गुरुपुत्रस्य सिद्ध्यति इदं रहस्यं नु वाचं तवाग्रे कथितं मया च प्रयत्नेन मम त्वं च प्रियाकृते स्वामी मुख्या गणेशादि विष्णुवादिनां च पार्वती न सापि न वक्तव्य सत्यं सत्यं वदाम्यहम् अतीव पक्वचित्ताय भक्तियुताय च प्रवक्तव्यमिदं देवी सदा प्रिये अभक्ते वञ्चके धूर्ते पाखण्डे नास्तिके नरे तथापि न वक्तव्या गुरुगीता कदाचन संसारसागरसमुद्धरणे कमन्त्रं ब्रह्मादिदेवमुनिपूजितक्षेत्रमन्त्रं दारिद्र्यदुःखभवरो अविनाशमन्त्रं वन्दे अभयहरं गुरुराजमन्त्रम् इति श्रीस्कन्दपुराणे उत्तरखण्डे ईश्वरपार्वती गुरुगीता समाप्ता श्रीगुरुदेव चरणार्पणमस्तु। नित्यानन्दाय गुरवे शिष्य संसारहारिणे भक्तकार्ये कदेहाय नमस्ते चित्सदात्मने निर्वासनं निराकाङ्क्षं सर्वदोषविवर्जितं निरालम्बं निरातङ्कं नित्यानन्दं नमाम्यहम् निर्ममं निरहङ्कारं समलोष्टास्मकाञ्चनं समदुःखसुखं धीरम् अवधूतं नमाम्यहम् अविनाशिनमात्मानम् एकं विज्ञाय तत्त्वतः वीतरागभयक्रोधं नित्यानन्दं नमाम्यहम् नाहं देहो न हि देहो जीवो नाहम् अहं च एवं विज्ञाय सन्तुष्टम् अवधूतं नमाम्यहम् समस्तकल्पनामात्रं निर्विज्ञाय सन्तृप्तं नित्यानन्दं नमाम्यहम् नवाविनै कर्मसङ्कल्पवर्जितं हेयोपादेयहीनं तम् अवधूतं नमाम्यहम् स्वभावेनैव यो योगी सुखं भोगं न वाञ्छति यदृच्छालाभसन्तुष्टं अवानन्दं न माम्यहम् नैव निन्दा प्रशंसाभ्यां यस्य विक्रियते मनः नात्मक्रीडं महात्मानं नित्यं जाग्रदवस्थायां स्वप्नवद्योपतिष्ठते निश्चिन्तं चिन्मयात्मानं नित्यानन्दं नमाम्यहम् द्वेष्यं नास्ति प्रियं नास्ति नास्ति यस्य शुभाशो वेदज्ञानविहीनं तम् अवधूतं नमाम्यहम् ननं पश्यति यो यस्तु जगत्पश्यति चिन्मयम् नित्ययुक्तं गुणातीतम् दर्शनमात्रेण भवते भुवनत्रयं पावनं जङ्गमं तीर्थम् अवधूतं नमाम्यहम् सर्वभूज्यं सदा पूर्णम् अखण्डानन्दविग्रहम् अप्रकाशं चिदानन्दम् आनन्दं नमाम्यहम् निष्कलं निष्क्रियं शान्तम् अनीशापुरिवासिनम् अवधूतं नमाम्यहम् लोकपूर्णं तपोमूर्ति प्रेमपूर्णं सुदर्शनं ज्ञानपूर्णं कृपामूर्तिं नित्यानन्दं नमाम्यहम् दुर्जनः सज्जनो भूयात् सज्जनः शान्तिमाप्नुयात् शान्तो मुच्येत वन्देभ्यो मुक्ताश्चान्यान् विमोचयेत् स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्तां न्याय्येन मार्गेण महीषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यम् काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथिवी शस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितो ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् सर्वस्तरतु दुर्गाणि सर्वो भद्राणि पश्यतु सर्वकामानमपि सर्वत्र स्वस्ति मातृत पित्रे नो अस्तु स्वस्ति गोभ्यो जगते विश्वासुभूतं सुविदत्रं योगे वदृश्येम सूर्यम् ॐ शान्ति 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 आरती करूं सद्गुरु की करूं सद्गुरु के प्यारे गुरुवर की आरती करूं गुरु पर की आरती करूं सद्गुरु की करूं सद्गुरु के प्यारे गुरु पर की जय गुरुदेव अमल अविनाशी ज्ञान रूप तर के वासी जय गुरुदेव। पग पग पर देते प्रकाश जैसे किरण दिनकर की आरती करूं गुरुवर की आरती करूं सद्गुरु की करूं सद्गुरु के प्यारे गुरुवर की आरती करूं गुरुवर की। जब से शरण तुम्हारे आए अमृत से मीठे फल पाए। जब से शरण तुम्हारे शरण तुम्हारे क्या है छाया अल्प वृक्ष तरुवर की आरती करूं गुरुवर की आरती करूं सद्गुरु की करूं सद्गुरु के प्यारे गुरुवर आरती करूं गुरुवर की। ब्रह्म ज्ञान के पूर्ण प्रकाश कयो ज्ञान के अटल प्रवर्तक ब्रह्म ज्ञान के जय गुरु चरण सरोज मिटा यथा हमारे गुर की आरती करूं गुरुवर की आरती करूं सद्गुरु की करूं सद्गुरु के प्यारे गुरुवर की आरती करूं गुरुवर की। अंधकार से हमें निकाला दिखाया है अमर उजाला। अंधकार से हमें निकाला कब से जाने जान रहे आग सुनो धर धर की आरती करूं गुरुवर की आरती करूं गुरु के प्यारे गुरुवर की आरती करूं। संशय मिटा विवेक कराए भवसागर से पार लंघाए। संशय मिटा अमर प्रदीप जला कर दे साधु रहित तन की आरती करूं करूं सद्गुरु के करूं गुरु के प्यारे गुरुवर की आरती करूं गुरुवर की। वेदो वेद अभेद बताया आवागमन विमुक्तराय वेदो वेदावे धन्य हुए हम करदारा ब्रह्म ज्ञान निर्जर के आरती करूं गुरुवर के आरती आरती करूं गुरुवर की करो कृपा सद्गुरु जगतारण सतपथ दर्शक भ्रांति निवार करो कृपा सद्गुरु जगत जय हो नित्य ज्योति दिखताने पाले लीला धर की आरती करूं गुरुवर आरती करूं गुरु के प्यारे आरती नित्यानंद गुरुदाता शक्ति पात के दिव्य प्रदान मुक्तानंद गुरु कर के बात गणेश भवा बाधारली जनकी आरती करूं गुरुवर की आरती करूं गुरु के करूं गुरु के प्यारे गुरुवर की आरती करूं गुरुवर की। ओम चैतन्यम शाश्वतं शान्तं व्योमातीतं निरञ्जनं नादविन्दुतीतं तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज Shiva Sadgurunath Maharaj ki jai.
Sadgurunath Maharaj ki jai. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Sunday morning Satsang. Today's program, we're going to be having a video of Gurudev, and it's an intensive talk from 2024 where he talks about become steady, become calm. So we're going to watch the video. It's about an hour. So everybody's invited to make yourselves comfortable or change your seating so that you can see him if you wish to, or you can simply close your eyes and listen to his words. We'll watch that, and then we'll conclude with Danya Danya and Joda Se Joda and Arti Lijo. Sadgurunath Maharaj ki jai.
With great respect and love, a heartfelt welcome to everyone here in person and everyone online. Thank you, Devyani. Thank you, Navinji. Thank you, Larry. I think we are calm or sleepy, either one of them. And I hope to stay between the two today. So I tried to Google the word calm yesterday. And there were many, many choices that Google offered, including medical choices, essential oils, and I didn't go for any of them because I thought that is not where we want to go. We want to go to be calm at all times. And I like what Larry just said, do not panic. There is possibly one thing many of us do in life, and that disturbs our calm because we panic. We create a plan, or we have a plan, we have an idea, and there is an earthquake. The earthquake was not in our plan. It was not in our ideas or thoughts. We never imagined an earthquake on the east coast of the United States, because we always imagine it to be on the west coast of the United States. And we were driving, and so we didn't feel it until Vinay called and said there's an earthquake, and then Vinay got some messages, said, did it have anything to do with Nityananda landing? And she just, as we were walking down, said somebody sent a message, tell him he doesn't need to make such a big statement of his arrival. Just tone it down. So I think of myself as pretty calm and worked at it over the years. And this is a topic I think maybe 3 or 4 months ago, and I was just trying to sit here and think, what was I reading then? Or what was happening in my life then that Devyani asked for a topic for the intensive in April, and it was become calm and concentrate. So of course I couldn't remember what was going on that time, whenever I was, possibly in Magod. But the idea is, as I look at seekers from around the world, and over the years, I think to myself, we all meditate. At least we all claim to meditate. We all claim to be at peace. But one of the biggest things I find is that calmness, and genuine calmness, a calmness at all levels, is missing in many seekers. And I think to myself, how can a seeker bring himself or herself about to a place? Now imagine in the story that Larry just shared from the Kathopanishad of Yama and Nachiketa, where Yama denies to him the knowledge of the self, basically. And there's a long debate between the two of them about how he's offering him all of the pleasures of life. And Nachiketa has to remain calm and steadfast and focused and not be deterred by all of the offerings that Lord Yama makes to him, and just stay focused that, no, I simply want the knowledge of the self, which he receives because Lord Yama realizes that there is no doubt in the mind of Nachiketa that this is what I want at this young age. When you look around at society and you realize that no matter what age an individual is at, panic is the first reaction. The car in front of you brakes. And if you're driving a new kind of car which brakes itself, that's worse. At least what I think. Because the car behind you doesn't have that kind of braking, and it bumps into you. Because now, not every vehicle is equipped with this kind of brake sensor. And so there is this mode of panic that sets in. And as the Gita in the 2nd chapter talks about, buddhinashot pranashyati, that when that sense of decision making is disturbed, you actually bring about destruction to yourself. So, what I was trying to talk about yesterday is the value of company, the value of good company, the value of good people, and how can we surround our life or surround ourselves in life with good company, with good people, with good books, and with everything that's uplifting. And just like Yama offers Nachiketa pleasures, society offers us pleasures. And it seems so tantalizing and going, wow, sit there and meditate seems so boring. And this, the pleasure, looks so exciting. And yet, I found in my bookshelf, book by Swami Shivananda, Concentration and Meditation. And when you look at it, when you read, you basically realize he's telling you harness your senses, harness your mind, control yourself, which is the opposite of how society is today. There's nothing about self-control, self-discipline. All I hear often people say is, do whatever you feel like, and that is freedom. And the yogi says the very opposite. As soon as the mind goes where it wants to go, bring that mind back. Maintain calm. Maintain peace. Maintain self-control. I mean, Swami Shivananda, when you read his books, it's all about discipline. No matter what the title is, or no matter what subject you'll find he's again and again telling every student that discipline is a must, and only when you have discipline will you progress in life. And so as I travel, especially around India, and I talk to the people that those of us who grew up before the 90s, our life with our parents was about discipline. Our life with our elders was about control. Our life was not about do whatever you want, it was about do what is appropriate and right and correct according to the situation and the people around you. When I came to the West in the 70s for the first time, it was the same way here. People talked about their elders and their way of growing up, but something that took place in the 60s and 70s, that social unrest, was about freedom, was about not being controlled. But we took it in the wrong way is how I feel. That we let go of every single thing. And what happened is today life is actually a chaos. For as much as there is modernization and all of that, calm is missing. I just recently shared, when I was talking about company and all of that, I said, somebody in 2001 decided to blow up some parts of the US with 4 different airplanes. I said, that act took place in 2001, and here we are 20-some years later, still going through the torture of security. And because I fly, and we have a steward who flies, we experience this every single time, which wasn't there before 9/11 or September 11, 2001. They were nicer to you. They accepted that you might have something. But today, even by mistake, they just look at you and say, leave it here. And you say, but I need it. They say, I told you, leave it here. And they say it with such calmness. And here you are panicking about this one thing that you feel is necessary in life. So what I was trying to tell these young men is that you make a mistake today, and there is a discipline that's created which makes no sense. But yet, because of a mistake made by one person or a few persons, a rule is created. And you cannot question that rule. You cannot question why. Whether it's an ashram, whether it's an institution, whether it's a school, whether it's whatever it is. Why? That's the rule. And then each officer has his own way of interpreting how he wants to interpret. And there is. And in all of those situations in life, you just have to remain calm. You have to maintain your equanimity and not allow any of those things to disturb you. It's not easy, because there's a sense of righteousness in each one of us. a sense of whatever it is that we think of, and then here's somebody else who thinks the same way. And you just have to smile. I travel in a very bright orange outfit. My vest is very orange, my carry-on is orange, and my 2 suitcases are orange. One was a little red this time, the second one I couldn't find. So anybody who looks at me goes, including the customs lady yesterday as I wheeled out, she said, lots of orange. But the customs was not somebody I was going to joke with, so I just smiled. But at security check, when a normal person tells me lots of orange, I say, yes, that's so I don't get lost. And they look at me like, what? Because I'm not going to explain to them that I'm an Indian Hindu monk and this is what we wear. And so whenever I find something orange, I get it, I acquire it, or somebody gives it to me. And so, sometimes the little kids in Magod ask me, Gurudev, what is your favorite color? And I pause to think. And some other child answers, don't you know, he always is in orange. And I smile and I say, well, shades of orange. And all of this, you have to maintain your calm. Because we sometimes can get excited and go into panic mode and just think, don't they know? Don't they see? And so, what do? I think that this become calm and concentrated or concentrate. The search for the word Google, concentrate was very funny because it had nothing to do with concentrate. It had to do with cement mixes. It had to do with drink mixes. I laughed to myself. One of the meanings was about focus, but I thought, okay, this is what concentrate means in the world. It's not concentrate as we think of concentrate in meditation, but it's kind of different kinds of concentrate. So, to be calm, to concentrate, and I think both are challenging, because as you go through life, go through situations, and all of that which happens. Now, many people think to be calm and to be concentrated means do nothing, which is not the right way. It says we should continue to perform actions without attachment, as needed, and with focus. Without losing focus, being focused, performing the action. So, in the second chapter of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Krishna tells Arjuna, Yogastaha kuru karmani sangam tektva dhananjaya siddhyo samo bhutva samatvam yoga uchyate. We often hear just the last part, samatvam yoga uchyate, that is equanimity is yoga. But here, what Arjuna is being told is that be steadfast in the performance of your duty. So each one of us has a responsibility in life. And no matter who you are, where you are at, and what you think of yourself as, there is something that is expected of each one of us. And I often share that with people that when you're standing in the line, that is the duty you're performing of standing in line. In India, we have the tradition that when somebody's standing in line, we think they're just standing in line, so we cut in line, whether it's with the baggage, whether it's check-in. And I always look at them, I say, I also plan to move ahead when the line moves ahead. Oh, he said, oh, you're standing to x-ray your suitcase. Well, what did you think that I was planning to do with my cart? And they act as if, and this happens in different parts of the world, you just look at people and they say, well, my flight is in a few minutes. I say, well, my flight is in a few minutes too. I also plan to board my flight. No, what time is your flight? And then you say at 2 a.m. And he says, well, mine is at 2 a.m. too. or 1:45 a.m. And it's just funny because you think of all of this. Be steadfast in the performance of your duty. So which means you have to plan. There has to be an organized way or method of living life. You cannot just say whatever. And often I have shared here, and Devyani laughs at me when I say, you ask somebody, what kind of tea would you like? And they say, anything, whatever. And then I say, well, we don't serve anything and whatever. Because that's not the kind of tea we have. At least I've not seen that kind of tea. So the best thing is to, if you have guests often, and if you have different kinds of trees, have a tray, put your teas on it, show them and say, what tea from this would you like? And then they say, whatever is easy for you to make. That's because, again, I think to myself, that steadfastness, that equanimity, that clarity in mind is not there. They don't know what flavor would I like, what fragrance would I like, what would I like to experience in this moment. I mean, we are laughing, but it's true. You know, like coming on the airplane, the lady comes with her menu and she shows it to you and you say, she says, what would you like? And then you go, I don't know. So she says, I'll come back. Because she needs to keep moving. She has, X amount of people she needs to serve in that much time. She can't wait for you to flounder and say, so then in that moment you realize, yogastaha kuru karmani, steadfastness in life. Sangam tyaktva dhananjaya. Let go of the attachment. Become free of that. Because sometimes, which I often observe in the ashram, when lunch or food is being served, and the mind already has seen what is coming, but sometimes it finishes when it comes to you. And it finishes when the other person comes to you. And there's a moment of panic. There's not that trust. There is not that calmness that somebody will come with what is meant for me. It could be what has been served on either side of you. But I always feel the Shakti, energy, God, Guru, whatever you want to call it, checks how steadfast are you, how calm are you, how much have you abandoned your attachment to success or failure. So when we think calm means just be calm. No, calm comes from doing all of these things in all situations. You cannot just wake up one day and say, okay, today I'm going to be calm. Devyani was just sharing with me about some rich woman in Texas who drove her Tesla into the pond. Now you can try to figure out and think. Now, of course, she said Tesla's going to have to create new ways to save yourself when the car goes into a pond. That could be another 10 years before the car goes into the pond. But there will be all these precautions in place just for when the Tesla goes into the pond. Now, if, no matter how rich or poor you are, has nothing to do with this, the question again arises about being calm, about being steadfast, about being focused, about being one-pointed. Because accidents only happen when the mind is distracted. And when is the mind distracted? There could be a multitude of reasons. The very first reason is, I've lost my calm. I've lost my being centered. I've lost my being focused. And as soon as I lose my center, my focus, and my calm, so therefore Krishna is telling Arjuna, accept all circumstances with serenity. No matter what situation arises in your life, and I often feel humans are funny. So when you see somebody calm, you want to trigger and check. And to me again, the test comes in that moment because I cannot lose my steadfastness, my commitment, my focus. And just realize all I can do is put forth effort. And the outcome is whatever it is. All I have to make sure is to put forth my best effort. And depending upon my karma, the situation, the many different factors, that will determine what the results will be. And Krishna tells, just offer the result to the divine. Perform your action and trust the divine. So in Magoda, I often tell the young men, I said, when you come into the temple every single day, morning and evening, bow, pranam. And when you bow, just stay down for a moment and think to yourself, what do you want today to be? How do you want today to go? It takes a moment but you have to come prepared into the space with that clarity in your mind and have a sense of how would you like today to be. And so, I often suggest that when you wake up in the morning, have a very quick look at what the day is going to be like. So then as you're going through the day, there is a calmness because you already have planned that this will happen. And then there is that intuition that guides you. So learn to listen to that intuition also. And people are like, how do I know which is my intuition? Well, if there is clarity, if there is focus, if there is steadfastness, you know when the intuition is speaking to you. But if there's a lot of distraction, the panic mode, for example, a car doesn't know the difference, and no matter what happens, the airbags burst into action. Because it has not been taught the difference between a small little thing that happens and a major thing happens. And again, you are not prepared in that moment, so between the airbag, whatever it happens, and you, the two individuals, you read about all this. Sometimes we hear people talk about this. And all you want to tell them is if you had not panicked in that moment, but just remained calm, everything would have been fine. But because the equanimity is gone and because there's an example that's given. If we are sailing in the ocean in a boat, it is natural to expect the waves of the ocean to shake the boat. If we get disturbed each time a wave rocks the boat, our miseries would be endless. And if we do not expect the waves to arise, we would be expecting the ocean to become something other than its natural self. Waves are an inseparable phenomenon of the ocean, Similarly, as we wade through the ocean of life, it throws up all kinds of waves that are beyond our control. If we keep struggling to eliminate negative situations, we will be unable to avoid unhappiness. But if we can just learn to accept everything that comes our way without sacrificing our best efforts, we will have surrendered to the will of God, and that will be true yoga. I know that was a lot in that one verse, in that one, what is it called, paragraph, right? So, life, ocean, waves, good waves, bad waves. That's how I break it all down. It's like, because you go, I can't remember the whole sentence. Yes, of course you cannot remember the whole paragraph. So now what do? You are just, often, you're just sitting there and all you want is peace. And meanwhile, just the person you don't want to meet comes. So what do? You can just quickly close your eyes and meditate, because you don't want to get caught in the conversation. But sometimes the person you don't want wants to talk to you. And so they'll go, are you meditating? Can I talk to you right now? And you're like, that's exactly what I don't want, because I'm just enjoying the quiet. Now there are ways in which you can handle the situation. And it's not always easy, because sometimes the people we don't like or the person we don't like are persistent. And somehow I always think nature, whether you call it God or divine or karma, whatever, loves to mess with you. How calm are you? How much will you panic? I'm funny. When I look at people, I don't mind people in general, humans in general, because that's the work I'm in. But then sometimes their energies are weird. And you think, how do I tell them that all you need to fix is this energy business of yours? But as soon as you start a conversation like that, they talk to you like, what do you mean? What should I do? Should I find the essential oil that will, cleanse my energy, or light a diffuser, or put some kind of... It has nothing to do with that. It's just where, this is at. Swami Shivananda talks about this, and Devani was talking to me this about yesterday. You have to come to a place where you can just accept everybody. I said, well, I do, but then sometimes, it's like it's like you want to rotate your shoulders or rotate your head or whatever it is that you do in Hatha Yoga, and just think, how can I just hold this person and say, all it needs is a shift of energy. But that very thought shift of energy is so deep. Because it's not just an external shift, because it's a shift that has to be created every single day. Because by nature we'll go back to our used to habit. And by practice we need to shift. And you read Bhagwan's book, you read Baba Muktananda's book, you'll find sometimes when somebody walks in, he goes, get up, go, go, go. And that person is like, why? I just want this darshan, And it's not that he's telling the person to go, but he's just trying to shift that mode of energy of that person, of that individual. And again, it's not so simple to say, shift. And you go, yes, okay, I shift. Because you can meet people for 5, 10, 20 years. And you can talk to them. And one day it clicks. And all of a sudden you find, oh wow, something has happened here. Now whether it is japa, whether it is meditation, whether it is something that somebody has said, whether it is something they have read, You cannot pinpoint to an exact one thing that has made that shift. That I think it's again a multitude of efforts that an individual puts forth. So, Krishna says, everyone should put forth effort. Everyone should work and establish himself or herself firmly in yoga. Yoga is this equanimity in the mind, is being at peace with oneself, that calmness, and just rooted firmly. And don't allow anything to shake you or to move you. So how do we come to this place? So just like Nachiketa asks Yama about the self, about the Atman, Krishna says that until the mind is connected, or one is connected to the Atman of the self, this disturbed state will exist. So to come to that place of calm and concentration, the mind should just merge into the Atman, into the self. So that means I have to, at all times, find ways and methods that I remain connected to that divinity, to that truth, to that consciousness. So, samatvam yoga uchyate, to bring about that equal-mindedness. No matter what the circumstance, no matter what is happening, just remain focused, remain steadfast, and just allow yourself to become free of want, of need, and you will notice actually things just flow into life, things just happen in life. But that consistency, that permanency has to be there. Sometimes people come to me and say, you know what, I have done this, and I've done this, and I've done this, and I've done that, and I have not been successful. It's like Baba Muktananda would say, you dig 10 feet and you say there is no water. You dig 10 feet, you say there is no water. He said, but if you had just dug 200 feet, instead of 20 10 feet holes, one 200-foot hole, you would have found water. And I see so many people around the world not content with oneself, because every so often they want a shift, they want a movement, they want a change. For example, this December, January, we celebrated 25 years of Shanti Mandir Magot. Next year, Shanti Mandir Walden will celebrate 25 years. And it's been a consistent effort. People make comments, good or bad or ugly. People have observations, but you have to remain steadfast as whoever you are in that ashram, and just keep going. Wake up the next day, do your morning things, go to the temple, eat your breakfast, do your work, and just continue being, calm. And that wave will come and say, oh, it's just you here today. And you have to say, yes, it's just me here today. And no one else is here today? No, no one else is here today. Where did everyone else go? They are wherever they are supposed to be. Because that wave is just checking out how calm you are. Or just three of you in the Guru Gita this morning. And you have to say, yes, it's just the three of us in the Guru Gita. Where's the rest of them? And you just have to continue chanting the Guru Gita. And just look at them and smile. They're just that wave of distraction testing you out. And if you get distracted and you think, is it just me? Where is everyone? When somebody comes to me and says, nobody's in satsang, I say, well, aren't you at satsang? And they say, yes. And I say, if you are at satsang, how can you say, nobody's at satsang? Because nobody is at satsang means nobody is at satsang, but you are there at satsang. And so funny is the mind, it so quickly gets distracted by that wave because that wave is strong. And those with negative attitudes in life, unsuccessful attitudes in life, wonder why their life is not successful. Because that steadfastness, that equanimity, that calmness, that don't panic, just stay focused. And you will arrive at your destination. But that's how life is. Sometimes you go on the freeway and traffic is just moving along so well. And you go at the same time the next day and there's a big jam. Now you sit there and you try to figure out, yesterday it was flowing. Today I am stuck. There is no valid reason, and all of a sudden it starts moving. We got stuck, not stuck, but coming from Ganeshpuri to Mumbai on Thursday, it took us 4 hours. Now anybody who I told that to, they say, well, what happened? I said, well, nothing really happened. It's just that it took 4 hours. How long should it normally take? Maybe 2 hours max. But there was nothing anywhere. But it just took that long. Now you can panic. Or again, like I said, you can listen to that intuition that says, today, leave at 11 o'clock. And don't question that intuition when it says to you, leave at 11 o'clock. Just leave at 11 o'clock. And then don't tell yourself, but then I'll get there so early, then what will I do? Because that's normally the distracted mind, the unsteadfast, not connected to the Atman or the self, that these questions arise and then you just... And it's funny sometimes when you talk to different people, even just going to the airport. There's so much advice that everybody gives. You know, it could take this, it could take that, this could happen, that could happen. And I just look at them and I say, I just do what I want. Or I will do what I want. And they look at like, you mean you're not going to take my advice? And I just look at them and I smile. You have a distracted mind. You're not connected to your Atman or to yourself. You're not focused. And all you are creating in your life is this panic of this will happen and that will happen and that will happen. And they will happen. Because that's what you have created. So when you think of be calm, concentrate, focus. What is it that I want? What would I like? And nature will support you and provide you with all of that. Now there are so many people who would probably like Shanti Mandir not to succeed, not to process, and not to proceed, not to go ahead. What is surprised? Yes, there are people. There are people in life who, even when they seem to give you a positive comment, there is a tinge of jealousy in that. Neither do you recognize nor do they recognize, but there is that, oh, you have done so well. But then I think to myself, that commitment to the connection to the divine must remain at all times. And so Krishna says, you know, success, failures, losses, failures of all worldly activities disturb the mind by throwing it in waves of momentary elation and depression, or of pride and of despondency. So one should just remain deeply immersed in the self, discriminate from real and unreal, work with detachment and with a steady mind. So the other sutra that came into mind when thinking of be calm is what I've talked about in the last couple of years as we've gone through the Patanjali Yoga Sutra, is Thiram Sukham Asana. So, how should life be? Life should be steady. Because asana here, I take it as not just Hatha Yoga or the seat, but it's my posture in life, is where I am in life, how I am in life. So, should be sthira, should be steady, should give me comfort. I should feel good. So no matter what the wave does, you are not disturbed, you're just at peace. You are stable, you are steady, you are comfortable. Just saw that time is up, so I'll just end with something from Paramahamsa Yogananda. Totally off, but I think it sums up be calm. So he says, jealousy comes from an inferiority complex and expresses itself through suspicion and fear. It signifies that a person is afraid he cannot hold his own in his relationships with others, no matter what the relationship is. If you feel you have cause to be jealous of someone, for example, if you are afraid that the one you love is transferring his or her attention to another, first strive to understand if there is something lacking within yourself. Improve yourself, develop yourself. The only way to hold on to the affection or respect of another is to apply the law of love and to merit that recognition by self-improvement. What I tried to say a little bit earlier about energy. Love and its counterparts can never be acquired or preserved by demands or begging or bribes. True love cannot be bought. To receive love, one must give it freely without any condition. But instead of following this rule, the insecure person resorts to jealousy. This makes the loved one angry and thus defeats its very purpose. Jealousy then responds to the anger with a desire to strike back. But anytime one wants thus to harm another, he ultimately hurts himself even more. Evil acts have their source in evil thoughts. These caustic mental parasites eat away the very fiber of one's being. They burn and destroy inner peace, one's greatest wealth. So be calm, concentrate, and think about all of these various ways that we can just remain calm. So not just in this moment, not just in this day, but it has to be at all times. So if you consider yourself a seeker, or if you think of yourself as a seeker, think to yourself that I have to actually remain calm at all times, in all situations, no matter whether I'm alone or whether I'm with people. So it's not just a momentary calm, equanimity, but whether that equanimity is there with you at all times. So we take a break now for about 30 minutes, I think, and then come back at 12 noon for the next session. So, Sadgurunath Maharaj.
આરતી લેજો અજ વિનાશી પૂર્ણ નિત્યાનંદ પ્રકાશી પૂર્ણ મુક્તાનંદ પ્રકાશી આરતી લેજો નવર ધરણે આરતી થાલા ચંદ્ર સૂરજ દો દીપ ઉજાલા નવર ધરણે આરતી થાલા ચંદ્ર સૂરજ દો દીપ ઉજાલા અગર ચંદન સવ ધૂપ વિરાજ અગર ચંદન સવ ધૂપ વિરાજ ઝૂલા મેં રોચમર તરુરા શ્રી આરતી લેજો આરતી લેજો અજ વિનાશી પૂર્ણ નિત્યાનંદ પ્રકાશી પૂર્ણ મુક્તાનંદ પ્રકાશી આરતી લેજો फूल बनस्पति है ये सारे सातों सागर जल की झारे फूल बनस्पति है ये सारे सातों सागर जल की झारे गगन अनाहत बाजे बाजे गगन अनाहत बाजे बाजे गाजे राय गडरे यमपा श्री आरती लेજો आरती लेજો अज विनाशी पूर्ण नित्यानंद प्रकाशी पूर्ण मुक्तानंद प्रकाशी आरती लेજો चार प्रकार के अन्न गोपाला सोहि तेरो भोग रसाला चार प्रकार के अन्न गोपाला सोहि तेरो भोग रसाला लोक चतुर दिश मंदिर तेरो लोक चतुर दिश मंदिर तेरो घट घट आसन स्वयं विकासी आरती लेજો आरती लेજો अज विनाशी पूर्ण नित्यानंद प्रकाशी पूर्ण मुक्तानंद प्रकाश आरती लेજો महावाक्य वेद के जो है, सो तेरो चरणामृत सो है। महावाक्य वेदन के जो है, सो तेरो चरणामृत सो है। सद्गुरु पुजारी देव चरणामृत, सद्गुरु पुजारी देव चरणामृत। पिए नारे नरबंद बिना, श्री आरती ले जो, आरती ले जो। अज विनाशी पूर्ण नित्यानंद प्रकाशी, पूर्ण मुक्तानंद प्रकाश। आरती ले जो। ज्योत से ज्योत जगाओ, सद्गुरु ज्योत से ज्योत जगाओ। मेरा अंतर तिमिर मिटा, सद्गुरु ज्योत से ज्योत जगाओ। हे योगेश्वर हे ज्ञानेश्वर हे योगेश्वर हे ज्ञानेश्वर, हे सर्वेश्वर हे परमेश्वर, हे सर्वेश्वर हे परमेश्वर। निज कृपा बरसा, सद्गुरु ज्योत से ज्योत जगाओ। मेरा अंतर तिमिर, सद्गुरु ज्योत से ज्योत जगाओ। हम बालक तेरे द्वार पे आए, हम बालक तेरे द्वार पे आए। मंगल दर्श दिखा, सद्गुरु ज्योत से ज्योत जगाओ। मेरा अंतर तिमिर मिटा, सद्गुरु ज्योत से ज्योत जगाओ। शीश झुकाय करें तेरी आरती, शीश झुका करें तेरी आरती। प्रेम सुधा बरसाओ, सद्गुरु ज्योत से ज्योत जगाओ। मेरा अंतर तिमिर मिटा, सद्गुरु ज्योत से ज्योत जगाओ। अंतर में युग युग से सोई, अंतर में युग युग से सोई। चित शक्ति को जगाओ, सद्गुरु ज्योत से ज्योत जगाओ। मेरा अंतर तिमिर, से ज्योत जगाओ। सांची ज्योत जगे हृदय में, सांची ज्योत जगे हृदय में। सोहम नाद जगा, सद्गुरु ज्योत से ज्योत जगाओ। मेरा सद्गुरु ज्योत से ज्योत जगाओ। जीवन मुक्तानंद अविनाशी, जीवन मुक्तानंद अविनाशी, चरणन शरण लगा। सद्गुरु ज्योत से ज्योत जगाओ। मेरा अंतर मेरा मीठा, सद्गुरु ज्योत से ज्योत जगाओ। ज्योत से ज्योत जगाओ। सद्गुरु ज्योत से ज्योत जगाओ। मेरा अंतर मेरा मीठा, सद्गुरु ज्योत से ज्योत जगाओ। त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव, त्वमेव बन्धो स सखा त्वमेव, त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव, त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव। दूर करो दुख दर्द सब, दया करो भगवान। मन मंदिर में उज्ज्वल हो, तेरा निर्मल ज्ञान। जिस घर में हो आरती, चरण कमल चितलाय, तहाँ हरि वासा करे। ज्योत अनंत जगा, जहाँ भक्त कीर्तन करे, बहे प्रेम दरिया, तहाँ हरि श्रवण करे। सत्यलोक से आए, सब कुछ दिया आपने, भेंट करूं क्या नाथ, नमस्कार की भेंट धरूं। जोड़ में दोनों हाथ, नमस्कार की भेंट धरूं। जोड़ में दोनों। ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते, पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय।
So this concludes our Sunday morning satsang. Thank you all for joining us. And it's always wonderful to continuously view the intensive videos, because I always love Gurudev's talks in the intensive, the Sunday talks too, but the intensive talks have a different feel to them, and always just to keep hearing the wisdom, the knowledge, and his instructions on how to move forward. So today's was become calm, become steadfast, and just how we can implement that. And when he ever uses the car examples, I always get a giggle, because I always think of all of these different situations with the cars, and for some reason he seems to remember those the most. What is cars and airports? Yeah, exactly. And the orange, which is always a sign of that, safety. And what do they always say, like with the sannyasi color? It's orange because you can see them. You can see the reminders of goodness, and especially in our world today, we can use more and more of that. So as he was talking about intuition, actually I'll come back to that in a second, don't let me forget, intuition. But this week has been a very joyous week here at Shanti Mandir. Each week is, every day we never know what's going to unfold. And this week, about a week ago, Saturday, a week ago or 2 weeks Saturday? 1 week. Is it only 1 week? Feels like it's been like a month. So 1 week ago Saturday, in town here in Walden, we have a Buddhist monastery, and we have several in the area. We have Blue Cliff Monastery, which is one particular, I think it's Thich Nhat Hanh's place. Then we have another one that's here that's Tibetan Buddhism, and then we have another one on our back road that we cross going from here to